About me. That's not nice.
Oh, there's an actual big camera on us.
Yeah, big camera, and then he plays the stuff virtually over the picture. That's why we see a picture, and it's actually not a picture. It's video on there. It's on him. He does his thing. So, are we up? Is this thing on? Hello? Hello? 1 2 1 2. So we have a special Whiskey Friday for you guys this Friday. We double, triple booked. Charles booked a guest, and I booked a guest, and we talked about it today. So it's kind of how that works. So we're going to start with guest number 1. Curtis has been a friend. I've known you 6-7 years, maybe longer than that.
Yep,
about that time.
Yep.
Curtis, I'm going to let Curtis explain what he does in the world. What do you do in the world?
Well,
besides go to Scotland and bring us some tasty things to try.
Well, I had a fabulous trip to England, and 2.5 weeks of that trip was up in Scotland, so I had to come back with some gift to enjoy.
Right on.
But as far as what I do, I work in the auto industry as a trainer, product trainer. When manufacturers come up with new products, myself and a team of folks,
like cars.
Yep.
Yeah.
A team of us will travel around the country from one region to the next, and it's our job to train sales staff and other folks that are dealing with these cars on a daily basis. So last year we did the GX 550 launch, and so that was 7 weeks or 8 weeks on the road, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of time. And then sometimes on the road we'll do some fun things that are right seat, and we're just showing off a product to consumers.
Yep.
And it could be at a racetrack, it could be just a city drive.
All right.
And then I do have the privilege of working for the Lexus Performance Driving School.
Right on.
So we'll go to tracks around the country, 4, 5, 6 stops, and one of my jobs could either be teaching people how to drift a car, or working on the autocross side of things, still getting to use all of the V8 products that Lexus currently has.
Sure.
The IS 500 F Sport, the RFDF, and of course on the big track with the lead follow, those guys use the LC 500s on the main track. So
all right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I get to play with cars.
You get to play with cars.
Yeah. And then when I'm not on the road, I'm at Performance Racing School, instructing, coaching, teaching people how to do their first day on the track to getting people signed off to run solo, and then even more in depth, getting into
a racing license,
getting a racing license, and maybe getting faster, i.e. Doug.
Yeah.
Hello, Doug, if you're paying attention. So yeah, he's a prime example of somebody who came through, was bitten, and as we know,
100%.
Fell deep into
Yes,
it.
he did, and we appreciate that because he's bought a lot of goodies. So
totally.
So Mr. Anthony Dundon believes he might be related to some of you. Not me. I'm not in the clan. Not in La Familia. I just kind of showed up on the wayside at some point. Nice. All right, so everybody's saying hi to you. So we got on the right side, you can see the chat. So we've got 3-pedal 911. That's Orist.
Oh yeah,
remember Orist? So that's Orist.
Yep.
Jack Curtis. You know Jack.
Of course.
Yeah.
I just gave him the peace sign the other day in Bellevue.
Right on. Right on. And then Anthony Dundon is new to the chat. Don't remember him before, but he's a Dundon, maybe. Who knows? It's not a super common name. Larry Beck. I think you've met Larry.
Of course, Larry. How's it going down in Texas?
And yeah, so there'll be more guys that come in and ask questions and move through here. So
very cool.
We are going to taste some whiskey. What's up, Felix? Felix runs Saga Motorsports down in Austin, and he is kind of in Larry's circle now.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, it's all friends and family here. What should we taste first? What do you want to taste?
Well, I mean,
I'll pour you a little bit.
Okay.
Something first.
Sure. Yeah, sounds good.
We use the baby glasses. No, we probably shouldn't, because then they're going to be contaminated.
We don't want to cross contaminate. Yeah.
Cross contaminate.
No.
I did bring what was
there was
right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Cold glass. A little bit of this.
Little makers.
Okay. Well, it's not gonna be that big a pour, brother. For TV. This isn't gonna glug glug. This is Makers. This is so we have an agreement. I don't know, a relationship with McCallum and Sons in Tacoma.
Oh,
So if you are looking for anything special, please let me know. I know Glenn.
cool.
Glenn will. This was a pick of Glenn's. That's a pick of Glenn's.
Nice.
I just let him pick out 7-8 bottles that he thinks we might like, and then he brings them over.
Rad.
And I send him what he tells me I owe him, which is really cool. Because you get the guy that knows where all the cool secret stuff is, or the kind of the under the radar stuff,
Totally,
and
yeah.
then you obviously the big super expensive idea. That's fine, but
Right.
Anyway, let's launch out.
Let's launch it.
I always drink whiskey on the rocks, but you know,
Yeah, that's nice. It's been a while since I've had any Makers, but that's delicious.
yeah, this is a similar to the Oban. It's a Distiller's Reserve edition, special, fancy. Limited release, blah blah blah. Kind of like everything Dundon makes, limited release. We never know when we're gonna have it back in stock again, so get it while we got it.
You can definitely taste the caramel and the maple.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. The maple really comes through really
totally.
strong, right?
Does this go on pancakes or waffles?
Probably. If you want to be that blitzed in the morning, you could.
One.
We've got a 4-year-old driving our sim, which is pretty dope.
No,
5. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend, young one. You can say I'm 400 and it'd probably be fine. She's like, oh my God, you're embarrassing me. You stop talking to me. I always think it's funny. So we'll introduce Charlie here in a minute, but I always find it pretty funny how when two adults have children, typically one of them is extroverted and one of them is introverted. I don't have children of my own, but this has just been a notice that I've seen throughout many children.
Oh yeah.
And it's always wild to me because it's inconsistent between the oldest is the extrovert and the youngest is the introvert. Often I find it the opposite. The oldest is the introvert and the youngest is the extrovert.
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest?
Yeah.
You're the extrovert?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm the only, so I got to be everything.
Nice.
Not really. You don't count. Yeah. Justin needs a mic. This is a good, you're one of how many? Yeah, that's a lot. When you have to stop and think about it, you're one of how many? Hold on. Can't forget anybody.
Are you?
6. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of family.
It is a lot of family. I met his dad recently. His dad's a hoot. His dad's wild. Tied your dad? Oh, with quantity of yeah. It's Justin is prolific. He has 6 high octane. He is high octane. That's another way to say it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's another way to say it. So what else is going on? Let's show Curtis my shenanigans on the track, since he is highly qualified to tell me what I might have done wrong. We'll start with the foible. We'll start with the foible. Actually, show just he's never actually driven the chicane before, so just show the cars going through the chicane at like normal speed first, like the lab rat going through. I had no Ted at the track on purpose yesterday.
Oh.
So I went just to go. And it's also kind of a pain in the ass for Ted. Ted is our, hey, what's up? There he is. Tosh Sport has joined us.
Ted, what's up, brother?
So Ted is our sales and marketing manager. He is also we'll call him a retired pro driver, even though he is a development driver for Dundon Motorsports. And if the opportunity were to come back for him to get his pro license, we'd do it in an instant.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
So that's Paul in the taxi. So the taxi's out on track.
Nice.
Lydia might be interested in watching that here in a minute. There he comes. Coming through the trees. The first bit of the chicane curbing isn't bad. The second one,
Quite a bounce
man,
there.
it really upsets the car. And the greedier you get on that curb, the worse it is. You can't get anything out of it because the car is just whir, 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 whir. And he's got MCS, so when you watch our car go through it without anything on it, it's kind of just parks.
Wow.
And then finally wants to take off because some idiot still drives with the traction control on. Well, the RS still, it has like dynamic traction control. You can turn it way, way, way down, which is nice. So, so yeah, the chicane at the Ridge is not my favorite, but it is fun. It is fun to try something new.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
This is a fun angle for a lap around the Ridge. Those of you guys that have not come out to join us at the Ridge, you absolutely should. And one of these times when these two get a little older, if Mama's okay with it, I'm going to throw something out here. They're welcome to come for rides in the race car. Okay. I always have to ask, because I've done this before and gotten the ire of Mom be like, are you mad?
You're going to do
I'm going to stab you in the eyeball. I'm not letting you do that with my children. Right? Well, I know, but I mean, who was it recently? Oh, it was Ramses couldn't go for a ride. He was going to get in trouble.
She was like,
there was a misconception about what it was and how they were geared up. It'd be like, hey, you want to go rock climbing? Sure. Oh, well, I think you don't use ropes, so I don't want to die. I don't want to go do that kind of thing.
Right.
It's like, no, we use ropes when we go rock climbing. So
Absolutely.
at least I did. I know some idiots don't, but yeah.
I did real rock climbing one time with a good friend of mine, Dave. Mm-hmm. One time.
And that was enough?
Got about 90 feet up, and I'm like, yeah, this is rad.
Yep, I'm done.
Check.
I don't need to do this anymore. Yeah, I used to enjoy it a lot. I did it all through kind of the end of high school, beginning of college, through college, into my first job. And those are the years when young men, and I give these guys a hard time, I was like, you realize that your brain isn't really fully formed till you're about 25? That you don't really understand your own mortality until you're pretty old?
Right.
And it was about 26 that I stopped doing crazy shit. I stopped rock climbing because I realized that I can die from this.
Yeah.
Or be horribly effed up. Justin is an ER doc, and he sees that kind of stuff all the time. So, Justin is a Smokies friend. We got our East Coast clans, we got our West Coast clans, right?
Cool.
Justin recently got a 997.
Oh, nice.
He had a 981 GT4 that on some of the twisty mountain roads on the East Coast, he was clearly on his side of the road, and a Harley was clearly not.
Oh, no.
And around a really tight corner, and the Harley's right there, and she split the car all the way to the windshield and then flew over it.
Wow.
She survived, broke her leg, kind of thing. Really shook his wife up. His wife, Cassie, right, Justin? Not great with names, but don't hate me if I got that wrong. Was pretty shook up from it.
Yeah,
I mean, you have a head-on collision with somebody and they fly over the windshield. That's going to be.
It's gonna leave a mark.
That certainly would leave a mark.
Yeah,
certainly would leave a mark. So, let's show him the foible now. He's seen a little. Oh, you're gonna do the POV. All right. There we go. Car sounds good, at least. It's crazy. GoPro on the front bumper of the car still sounds good. It still picks it up.
Yeah.
So, kudos to GoPro for making that work.
Yeah, especially all that wind noise.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't really have much wind noise either, which is crazy.
Good microphone. Oh, yeah.
You can hear it before it even started.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, that skid started well before you were even turning in. So for the listeners, I know what I did wrong. What would be your take on what I did wrong?
Let's go back.
Go back?
Let's go back a tiny bit.
All right.
Just to see if I have the brains.
You roll that footage back a bit. No. No, that was actually the good one. Yeah, you made them all the thumbnails too small for yourself. Ah, there we go. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, brakes.
Yep. Oh, it's a trail brake corner.
Yep, but your other lap, the good one, your brakes came off. Right.
Well, I was still on the brakes through the corner. I was already off the brakes on the other ones and getting to the corner, right?
So that
Yeah,
side of the car is loaded up.
Yep.
The weight's now already committed to moving that direction,
and Ted would say you used the wrong pedal. You used the wrong pedal, Jamie, to fix that. You had an opportunity, because you can still see that I didn't start counter steering until the car was probably 30 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that point, you're just done. You're just going to straighten it out and stop it from continuing to go.
This is the good corner. This is the good corner right here. You came out with the brakes nice. The car was settled. The weight transfers across the front pretty evenly, and
yeah.
This
is all good learning.
This is how we learn.
Exactly. And I wasn't hard on myself because I did it. Yeah. When in doubt, throttle out. But there's no room there.
No.
I mean, I hit the throttle at that point. I'm just going to run off the other side of the track on the track out because it's super narrow as it comes around.
Yeah.
Taj might have been able to do it, but he wouldn't allowed that to happen in the first place. Car would have twitched and he'd been like,
I mean, there's a chance to have tried to put some effort into to save it, but
it needed to happen kind of on corner entry.
So quick.
Yeah.
So quick that
yeah.
That's all about reaction time and what you're feeling, and then making the decision to make the change.
Right. So yeah.
Now,
it's
if I was right seat in that situation, I just would have said, hold the wheel straight, go to the brakes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you have a chance to do.
Right. And it's not too much different than where I ended up. Once I felt I'd countered, I was in it, I was like, okay, we're just gonna park it. I kind of situational awareness. There's nobody coming up on me. There's nobody. I'm good.
Yeah. And it's nice that
car
there's
up,
nobody
take
else.
off.
There weren't two cars, packed up behind
coming
you.
up behind me, right?
Because I don't know how fast you're going. I mean, at that point, I have an idea how fast you're going because that's at the bridge where you're kind of coming off throttle and getting ready to go to the brakes.
Yeah, I'd say it's about 130 in the car before you're kind of coming in.
Right.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. So we did something similar to this, and Taj was, he was in the 992. I'm in the Cup.
Yeah.
And he's like wheeling the 992 for all his worth, just trying to stay up with the Cup car.
Yeah.
So,
well, to some degree, at Pacific Raceways, obviously we don't have that serious of a change in direction.
Right. Kinda.
I mean, we have a very technical section of the track, of course. Entry to 5, pre-entry to 5A, exit out of 6, coming out of 7. But 2 can create that situation too.
Oh
right?
yeah. So for sure.
If you're trying to be brave and you want to,
and you run out of bravery before you actually get there.
Well, it's the cars. You're lagging behind where the car is, right? So obviously we want people way out in front of the situation so they can get a sense of what's happening prior to it getting severe.
Yep.
And so we try to teach that early. In those first day, it's like that first track day, the school day. But ultimately, that's one of those things where just what are you feeling? What's your gut telling you? And if you put a little counter into it, you probably could have saved it. But
yeah, I mean, there was a number of those that I did, and I was intentionally to get through that corner quickly. I was intentionally trying to trail that and kind of slide it through it, not park, turn, go. I mean, it's a slightly more advanced set of
and you have
at least trying to be.
you have two surfaces you're dealing with there at the bridge where you've got flat and then you have transition.
And we've got concrete and tarmac at the same time. And when you're going through that, one side of the car is on the concrete as you're going through the curbing.
Yeah.
And the other side's on the tarmac.
Yeah.
And that particular section of track is not used very often.
Right. Motorcycles mostly.
Right.
Yeah. And they don't do
just
a lot
to
of
keep them from
motorcycles.
doing 200 miles an hour at the end of the straight, which would be horrifying. All right. Let's taste the other. The Oban.
Oh.
You want to open the Oban?
How about you open the Oban?
I'll open the Oban. That's fine.
To open the Oban. This is great. So we stayed one more. Wait, we had multiple nights. We were Edinburgh, Inverness, ultimately stayed in Oban, and then stayed one night in Glasgow before we flew out, and ultimately made it to Germany a couple days later, or a day later.
Where is it? Huh? Maybe not. All right.
So anyway, I told my father-in-law about this trip, that the one thing I really want to do, I want to see all
Did
kinds
you go
of things.
with?
Oh yeah. Oh,
This was for your birthday, right?
no.
Just happened to be around where your birthday was?
Yeah, the birthday was a week later.
Okay.
Ish. But I had said to him early on in this whole idea of going to Scotland, England, and Scotland mostly,
Yep.
that I just want to stand in the middle of a distillery and I just kind of want to take it in.
Yeah.
So late 1700s here for Oban.
Right?
Pretty fantastic to be in their building. It's right on the harbor. It's right in downtown, if you will.
Okay.
So if anybody ever goes there, it's very easy to get to. They have a wonderful gift shop. And so my wife and my son and I all of us did the tour. And I walked out of there with this Distiller's Reserve that you can't get anywhere other than there. And once they
Just super cool.
and so once they sell out of it, they sell out of it, and they'll do it again, right? But it's a distinct that's good. Very distinct brewing, fermentation and process that Oban has. They don't use peat anymore. Peat is a natural resource. It's very important that it stays within the ecosystem.
Okay.
And
Yeah, because they needed to kind of renews the bogs and all the rest, right?
it does so many things for the environment. It's very important to the actual environment, believe it or not. And so the Scots have figured this out. And so there are some that still do it. Small distilleries will use peat. It's a pretty unique process. They don't give you a whole lot of insight on.
I've been talking to these guys about, so get back over here close
Yeah.
with Mike.
So the smoke would rise up on, in their drying barns.
Yep.
The rise up top, and then it goes through this whole maturation process. And
Yep.
they would use the peat smoke, and it would filter up through the rafters, essentially, right to where the rye is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an old traditional way of doing it.
Right.
And so it's a very different way of doing it now.
Yeah, they have to have a campfire rolling the whole time,
Essentially.
kind of
And
thing,
so
right?
since they're burning thousands of pounds of peat.
All of that's going in the atmosphere, and they had to
So-
find another way to do it.
And so it's not as peaty as it used to be. They've kind of gotten away from that. But
Right.
again, since you've been in business since 1794,
Yeah,
you've learned a thing or two.
yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of funny. I had in school, I went to school for chemical engineering.
Oh,
and
well, you would appreciate one of these tours. You
Oh
would
yeah,
totally
yeah.
get it.
So I've what's going on, Max? How you doing, brother? My senior project when I was in school was taking alcohol out of beer.
Oh,
And we did well. We used reverse osmosis filtration to do it. It's the way your kidneys work.
sure.
And I've had an idea for a while that I won't share overly, because as Charles has warned me, when things become public knowledge, they're no longer your ideas, they're everyone's ideas.
That's right.
So I have an idea that could, if one day I decide to try it, could speed up the aging process for bourbons and ryes and the like
Interesting.
dramatically, because whiskey aging is just an exchange process, right? You've just got alcohol sitting in wood,
Right.
albeit, full of Madeira or, charred oak or whatever it might be.
Right.
And you're just kind of sitting it in a barrel and letting it exchange with, alcohol molecules with the charred wood stuff and all the other, there's flavonoids and a bunch of other gobbledygook.
Yeah.
Good technical words for what's going on. So yeah, anywho, let's give this one. Almost a dark cherry note right at the end.
Yeah. They use charred oak.
Yeah.
barrels. They had one of the parts of the barrel out that they kind of show you about.
Yeah.
You could see how the whiskey has
Like
soaked,
seeps through it.
seeps through.
Absolutely.
And it, I stood in a rick house in Kentucky a number of years ago, and it's a Neely family distillery, 11 generations.
Yep.
And the dad takes me on this whole tour.
Right.
Well, little did I know that his
11 generations.
11 generations.
That's cool.
His son is the distiller now.
Right.
But he's there for helping.
Right.
But so is this young man's grandfather.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, they took me through this whole process, and it was fascinating to learn and listen. And I stood in the rick house, and you can smell this thing happening inside the rick house.
Yeah. It's like
unique.
all the angels share. You can breathe it in.
Exactly.
Right.
It is.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, when a whiskey is put into a barrel and it's capped, there is the alcohol having a different vapor pressure than the other parts of the liquid that would be combined to create the liquor, will find its way through the pores very quickly of the wood, and it will leave. It will evaporate. So the amount of alcohol that the amount of liquid that you put in the barrel will go down and down and down and down and down over time because of what they called back in the day the angels share.
That's right.
Meaning the angels would come down and drink the liquor, and what we were left with was the parts that they hadn't yet consumed because they didn't understand vapor pressure and evaporation and all these kinds of things. At least they didn't claim that they did, but they probably did. So
at some point they discovered it.
Vapor is coming out of the wood. Fluid isn't coming out of the wood, but it comes out, it wets the wood out, and then because alcohol has a very low vapor pressure, it will find its way out into the world. We're going to nerd out on science here for a second. Guys are asking, fluid is coming out of the wood?
No.
Kinda,
Very
but
little,
no.
very little.
Yeah, kinda,
very
but
little.
no. All right, let's give this one a taste.
Yep.
Oh man,
It's not real peaty,
it's not real peaty. I can appreciate that.
but there's something in the water in Oban.
Yeah. And that's so wild. It's like the thing that's always fascinated me, and this is why I like coffee. We've got big fancy coffee maker downstairs that I splurged on one Christmas and got that for the team. That was actually a productivity play.
Nice.
Everybody laughs at me when I say it, but at the time, these guys would go out and spend 45 minutes to go out and get a coffee. I'm like, screw that. We're going to get a coffee maker. It's going to take you 5.
Wow.
Because we're going to have the best coffee in like 30 miles around here. And currently, the only reason that Charles leaves to get a coffee is when he needs quiet. And to not be disturbed. So he'll go cad somewhere and find a corner of the Kimball Cafe or, one of his other local haunts that he finds so he can quietly cad away and people just leave him alone. Turns his phone off. Concentrates in silence. He doesn't drink our coffee though. I'm not sure why. Pain in the ass to make. Oh, that's fair. I suppose I don't see coffee cups anymore. So yeah, it's fair enough. So yeah, same thing with red wine was an affinity of mine for a while. It's all of the different ways that you can take, quote, the same thing and make so many different things from it.
It's amazing.
Right?
Yeah. The Oban being in the same location as they have since 1794, they can't expand in the particular part of the community that they're in. They're right up against a cliff edge, big rock cliff edge. Apparently, way back in the 1900s, early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s, they found a skeleton of a family in this cave. So they sealed the cave up because they were going to basically clobber the cliff to expand.
Right.
They realized that just to be peaceful with the deceased and give respect, they just blocked the cave off.
Oh, wild.
So they've stuck to this parcel of land they're on. They now have locations throughout Scotland and other places where the rye is maturing and doing what it's doing, but And then, of course, they do all of the other work there.
Right,
in
right.
Bottling. They don't let you see everything, but they get to see, you get to see enough. But
That's really nice.
I was excited to sample this, and when I had it, I looked at my wife, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Well, if you want."
Yeah.
So thanks, G. I don't know if you're listening or not.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Delicious. Delicious.
Hey, there it is. So you've pulled up. There you go. I was standing right.
This is why he produces these.
Go up the alleyway a little bit to your left. There you go. There you are. Oh, I stood there and for about 5 minutes and just kind of soaked it all in.
Yeah, it's
if you will.
crazy. It's like right in the middle of the town.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, the Kentucky distillery is literally out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
There's like nothing around them.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just roll up and there's this
Yeah.
giant barn. You're like, barn? What's in the barn? Giant barrels. Okay.
Huge barrels.
Right.
Yeah. And the obviously the different distilleries use sherry or different casks of some sort, right?
Yep.
Stuff from Spain, stuff from the U.S. and from all around. So they're always experimenting. And so they showed us one of the giant sherry casks. I was like,
Yep.
damn, all right, that's big.
Yeah.
Very different than
Yeah,
say,
it's not like a
sized.
55 gallon oak barrel,
Yeah.
right? These are casks.
These are
They're huge, right?
casks,
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, they got drams out there in the street. It's
I mean,
different in Scotland.
Just behind us, across the street, about 80 feet, is a whiskey shop that you can buy just about everything in. It's kind of funny. You could buy Oban in there. Yeah, right across. See where that van is? Right across from that van.
Down there.
Right where that blue building. Yep. Go around the front side of that. It's a fantastic. I was stood in there and kind of my mouth dropped open because everything is in there.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
If you haven't been, you should go to McCallum and Sons in Tacoma.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, Glenn's got a really it honestly looks like a museum
Oh, cool.
inside. It's gorgeous. He's
Yeah.
built this gorgeous. I mean, it's all like lit up, real special, and all this. It's fantastic. So,
Nice.
all right. Does anyone have any questions for Curtis? For those of you who don't know, he's a fan of the BMW. He has a beautiful E30 outside. What color is that? It's like a bronze metallic.
Sunset metallic orange.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
nice.
roughly a 2019 color, factory BMW color.
Is it?
It
Okay.
is, yeah. And I will say this, I am just a very lucky human being that this car came into my life.
Right on. Right on.
The previous owners, good friends, the kindest people. And I got an email one day with 3 photographs, and it basically said, "You remember when you said you wanted this as a track car?" And I'm like, standing in my kitchen talking to
You're like,
to my wife, and I'm getting
Yeah.
like chills. I'm
Right,
like,
right.
This is the same car, because it was just a red 325 IS,
Right.
and I had said to
Right.
the owner, I said, when you're done with it as a
Which-
track car,
For those of you who don't know your E30s, the 325 IS is like the only one other than an E30 M3 that you might want, in my opinion.
it is, if there's ever been a car that's an icon, say Mustang, Camaro, this is the equivalent of that, but just from Munich.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember as a young kid, I worked at Bellevue BMW, and I drove one of these cars, and I thought I was on top of it. And it was black 325 IS with sports seats. It was optioned out. I had to do the research, but these things were 28 grand back in the day.
Yeah.
That's 88. I'm gonna age myself here. That's the year I graduated high school.
I can remember when I was a kid, and in Sacramento, and we were Air Force family, and one of the guys brought over an 85, I think.
Yep.
And his son was older than me. He was, let's say he was 17, 18. I was like 12, 13. Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Now 14, 15, maybe. Yeah, it was right before we left in Sacramento. And so we would go out bombing the I'm forgetting, levee. Yeah, the levee roads.
Oh yeah.
In Sacramento, where they dam up all the
Yep.
rice fields and
Yep.
all this stuff. We go out bombing this thing. His dad would let him borrow the car at 17 years old, and we're doing absurd level speeds in doing stupid teenager shit.
Of course.
But the car just ate it up.
Yeah.
Car just ate it up.
Yeah.
Which immediately was like, "Ooh, I need to get BMW one day."
Yeah.
So
So if you do the math, 88 till now,
Yep.
this car came into my life, I think about a year ago, and I'm kind of speechless about the fact that this is living in my garage and I get
Right
to
on.
drive it. And I'm super thankful that they had this opportunity.
Because you had a Type R. You still have your Type
No,
R, right?
not
No?
a Type R. I still own my I guess technically, well, the second vehicle I ever bought was a '95 Acura Integra. I still have the TEG.
Right on.
It got turned into a track day car, so
Sure.
whatever the appropriate things that had to be done to it to make it that way.
Yep.
I do want to sell it, sadly.
I had a 96 GSR
Oh, yeah.
for a while.
So the bummer thing about Acura at the time is that they never built a black on black four-door GSR.
Right.
They gave me a non-GSR engine, but it's the car I wanted. So
Right on.
it was great. It taught me everything about driving at the track.
Yep.
And you know, there's part of this that some people may disagree with, but if you can learn how to get the back end of a front wheel drive car to step out and slide and be on full throttle coming out of a corner, you're kind of starting to drive at that point.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
there's some
absolutely.
things about that.
You've got
that
some
are
dynamics going
entertaining.
on to really pull the car around,
yeah.
right?
I loved watching showroom stock back in the day when a lot of showroom stock racing was happening.
Yeah.
And a number of drivers were sort of idols to look at and watch, and I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
It happened, so
That's cool.
it's pretty bad.
That's very cool.
But the E30 definitely is an icon. I can't say I don't think I'm gonna sell it. It's gonna stay with me
I've
for
heard
a
this
long time.
before, but
But having
typically from GT car owners that I'm talking to on the phone that have to have the new and the new
Yeah.
and the new and the new
Right.
and they're like, I'm never going to sell it. I'm keeping this one forever. Sure you
Well,
are. Till
you
2
know-
years from now when you actually do sell it.
This
So-
thing has got some crazy. It's got MCS on it.
Yep.
Double adjustable MCS on it. It's been converted to 5 lug. Shout out to.
It's proper.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Stroker motor. It's basically a new car.
That's great.
It's basically a new car. And
That's awesome. It looks gorgeous. I mean,
it's
the colors, it's especially when I was walking around it earlier and the way it was in the shade and then the sun hit it and
Yeah,
it like went around it and it got really light and really sparkly and then back to darker
Yeah.
as we went around it.
I'm gonna kind of blame Ted Senior and Ted Junior for a little bit of this because those two guys had a car that I longed for that a fellow named Chris still owns.
Yep. I remember
And
Taj telling me about it. Yeah,
That
Ted
red
told me about it.
car, my God. I remember seeing it. I was getting on the highway at Medina, and I think Junior was actually in the car, and I was speeding up, and he was taking off, and I'm like,
Let's go.
oh my God. So anyway, it was sort of the reconnection of like, I've got to get one of these cars one of these days. And I was really hoping that Chris was going to sell it.
Right.
Chris Mason was going to sell it.
Yeah.
But he hasn't. And he's had that car for 20 some odd years now.
I've almost been working on my E30 M3 that long.
Damn.
I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I think it's coming up 10 years, Charles? Maybe 9, something like that. It's been getting an S62 in it for a long time.
Oh, damn.
So
Okay.
I have an E30 M3, white on white. It's an 88, and it was somebody's track car. Had been blasted into a wall a number of times and kind of fixed, and it's kind of janky. So we did a bunch of body work. We got it better.
Nice.
And I always wanted an S62 in it because if you measure the weight of an S14 cast iron block,
Sure.
measure the weight of an S62 cast aluminum block, they're only about 150 pounds different. So as far as the dynamics of having that giant V8 in the front of the car,
Yeah.
it changes a little bit, but
Changes
not
a
as
bit.
drastically as you might think.
Right.
And then you've got a modern 400-ish horsepower.
Damn.
Give a E30 M3 some torque it so desperately
Right.
deserves. Maybe I think the purists would frown on that. but
Purists would definitely.
yeah, they're like, no, it must be at 7,000 RPM, and then you're finally getting to where the S14 does good things. So, anyway, all right. Charlie has been more than patient.
Yeah.
She's been more than patient. So, why don't you join me on this side? We'll
Okay.
sit her over there. This is generally not a PG-13 or even a G-rated show, but we're gonna get there. And this is Charlie. So I've known of Charlie since before Charlie knew Charlie, which is kind of funny to think of, right? Because when you were born, your dad was supposed to be working on my car.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably don't remember that, but he was working on Pumpkin, and I knew, and somebody had pneumonia. Did you have pneumonia at the same time? Did you have pneumonia when she was born? I think you were sick. This is going back a number of years.
Let me check my calendar real quick.
Yeah, you're like, I don't remember. Maybe.
I might have made an appointment at all.
Made an appointment. Be sick when I'm working on Jamie's car. Check.
Yeah. Sure.
So this is not incredibly unsurprising. Charlie has a natural aptitude for taking things apart and putting them back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. When she was here before we were filming, she was telling me about the old iPhone that she took apart and almost got back together because her dad told her
she got it back together.
if you're gonna take it apart, you got to make sure that when you get it back together, it works.
Yeah.
And so what'd you tell me?
So I took the screen off, and I put the screen back on, put all the connectors back on, tried to snap it back on to the frame of the phone, completely shattered it.
Yeah, well, they
So-
do that on their own anyway. I'm
Yeah.
surprised my phone still isn't in shattered
She asked
pieces.
if I could do my real phone next.
No.
No, I didn't.
And the home button worked?
No, I forgot to put the connector back onto the board.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or I
So
couldn't.
roll the footage again because I want to give some context on this. So
Which one?
John's car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. You got it. That's John Chan's car. So, yeah, so this is in your condo.
No, this is at John's house.
This is at John's house. All right.
Yeah, it says garage.
So that's John. This is our friend John Chan. This is his 997.1. Hold up. GT3 RS from at least, I'll say 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
And this is Charlie helping to take the bumper off.
Mhm.
And she even, if I remember this right, please, correct me if I'm wrong. I think she grabbed the tool herself.
yeah, she
And
figured out what she
Figured out which tool
still does
goes in there, which size it was, and got it done.
I've got some other pictures, but no, she actually put all the fasteners in. This is reinstalling it in the bumper
okay.
cover, even the ones that are kind of tricky to get to.
Right on. So I also understand you're pretty good at math.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good skill to have, especially to not be afraid of math, because math shouldn't be scary. There's nothing scary about it, right?
50% school, 50% him.
Yep, that's good. That's good.
So I need to work a little harder.
Yeah.
So the latest one your dad and I have been talking about is teaching you about compound interest.
Oh.
So compound interest is a really, really interesting way to never have to work for anyone ever. If you don't want to, you could set it up so that you never had to. And it took your dad and I quite a while to figure out that was possible, but we're working on it now. And when we get it cracked, we're going to share it with all of you so that maybe nobody really has to work a whole lot unless you want to. We're only doing the things that you want to work on, which is kind of nice. You don't have to go pick up garbage cans unless you want to pick up garbage cans.
No, she'll still have to.
Yeah.
What? Tuned in.
Nice. Tuned in for the Dundas Child Labor practices. So Simon is co-owner of Driver's Choice Motorsports in Florida.
I know
So he's one of our dealers. Yeah. So Simon's always here for the color commentary, which is awesome. He always finds a way to get something on me, which is, there's Simon and his 718 GT4. Yeah. Which we still owe him some parts to get his splitter right. So luckily those parts I think are all here finally.
I think so. Yeah.
So we can get those to him. So I would ask you what's your favorite subject in school, but I think I know.
Math.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not science?
Both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
She likes her
Yeah.
science.
So the nice thing about the relationship between math and science is math is the tool you use to really begin to understand the science.
Yeah.
Right? So science, my wife was a physics teacher. She's also an engineer, but she was teaching in high school. She was teaching something called conceptual physics.
Oh.
And so it was essentially physics without math. And we're both engineers, right? Charles is like, wait, what? How would you do that? How do you teach physics without math? And we were struggling the same. He's like, there's gravity. Why? Because there is. Because things fall down. Well, why does that happen? Well, because it happened to Sir Isaac Newton? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So, yes, Ealing. Albert Einstein famously said, compounding is considered the most powerful force in the universe and the greatest mathematical discovery of all time. So, what's that? Things fall down because they do? Oh, like her shirt? That's her baseball team shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last year.
No.
2 years ago. Yeah, no, last 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 2023 season.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
I'm trying to.
What else? What car do you want to drive first when you're able to drive?
K-Truck.
K-Truck. Tangerine took the lead. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. You're about the size to fit into the K-Truck.
Yeah.
None of the rest of us actually fit.
Yeah, that was one of the better ones to pick her up from school in, believe it or not.
That you should do trunk or treat in the K-Truck.
We talked about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big trunk. You can put a lot of candy back there. And I remember you wanted to make a celebrity hot tub out of that, right?
No.
No, they want to put a pool in. No.
Swimming pool.
Pool.
Yeah.
Swimming pool, like line it with plastic and also very thoughtful young lady. She wanted to make it a cooler and put cold drinks and bring it to track days.
Oh, nice.
And drive it around the track days and get people cool drinks. I thought that was pretty thoughtful.
That would be a huge hit.
That would be thoughtful. Yeah, it was very thoughtful.
Put my personal favorite drink in canned lemonade.
Canned lemonade, sugar-free, caffeine-free. I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? Any boyfriends to speak of?
No.
No, not happening.
No.
No. What grade are you going into this year?
5th.
5th grade. Oh my goodness, you're gonna be in high school and I'm gonna
Yeah.
blink and you're gonna be in high school. So what's funny is when you're old. So when you're young, months feel like years.
Yeah.
When you're old, a year feels like a month.
Yeah.
And 5 years or 10 years feel like a year.
Makes sense.
Like I've been in my house for coming up 15 years and I'm like, where the hell did that go? Where did this happen? Right? Like when I think about my car projects, they just kind of bring a little tear to my eye because I'm like, I haven't driven this car in how long? Time to buy a new one. My wife gives me, yeah, exactly. And what's really cool is almost all the cars I buy end up with Kimmy's phone somehow paired to them.
Yeah. Not mine. Hers.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking through all of her Bluetooth devices.
Because what's mine is ours, and they all get shared, which is nice. The 991.2 GT3 RS, the 2019, I bought that on the East Coast, and we went to the Smokies event, and then Charles volunteered. We broke it in at Road Atlanta with Seth driving hot laps with it had 30 miles on it. So we broke it in according to Porsche's recommendations or something. Don't go over this RPM until this time, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and then Charles drove it home. And I think Kimmy flew out to Salt Lake. Is that right? Is that where you picked him up?
Arizona.
Okay. And then I don't know if he got the wheel back the whole rest of the time. So
I got it. She did miss the part. She was asleep for over 2 hours in the middle of Utah.
That's easy to do.
Well, the speed limit there is 85. Everybody does 95.
yeah,
So
which means you do 115
With the
and
cruise.
yeah, you set on 115 and boogie.
It's like 105.
Yeah.
Had a couple staters pass. Like, I'm in the right lane. Yeah.
Just in the slow lane and they passed you
Yeah.
at
they're just-
doing 105.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, probably. I wasn't in the left lane.
Charles was telling me when
Everybody
this happened,
was
he's like,
doing that.
Utah is my favorite place to drive.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gorgeous. The roads are really cool, and you can drive really fast.
Nobody's there.
And you should always obey the speed limit, Charlie. You don't get to drive fast unless you're on a racetrack.
She's never been faster than the speed limit ever.
I'm sure. Never, ever.
Not with me.
Look at my picture.
Yeah.
That one.
Right?
Mother.
What?
Leadfoot.
Getting thrown under the bus over there.
She knows. She
Um,
knows.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Lydia sometimes will.
She peek over and
She'll
look.
ride. No, she'll ride in something, and then she'll say, "I'll ask, get in a little bit." She's like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. It's kind of it's not as fast as mommy's car, though."
Nice. That's awesome. Fun fact, Arizona can only change speed limit on posted signs by 20 miles per hour a sign and have a minimum distance allowed between signs. Really? How do you know that, Justin? You're a doctor. Did you live in Arizona? He's a fast doctor. He had to hire one of those attorneys that get you out of those speeding tickets. Oh, we got a budding drift queen down here.
Oh, she's getting shot.
Yeah. Sorry, Lydia. I'll ignore you. You're fine. Go back to what you're doing. So Charles' other daughter, Lydia, is over here on the sim, and she's a little shyer than Charlie. The safety pull-out zone. You should be safe when you pull out.
The thing, the thing went up till the.
Well, you would know more about that than most of us.
The third gear.
It gets more crafty when you have to bob and weave those through somehow. Right? Can you hand me the middle bottle, if you wouldn't mind, sir? Thank you kindly. Have a 65-mile bike ride tomorrow. So I am not, I'm not going to. Road. So we're gonna do Port Orchard, the all along the water. So myself and my neighbor, thank you. We're gonna go out. Yeah, we're gonna go all up here around the water and then come back down. So. It's like 60. From my doorstep it's 65 miles. So I've done 40. I do 40. I can do 40 back to back on back to back days. Yeah. So. Nice. Let's see, what else? What else did we do last week that we're missing? Oh, you wanna see? Here, I'll send you the link. Hold on. I'll send you the link. It's over here. 1 second. Gotta get my Strava link. Copy link. I'll throw it in the Slack chat.
What?
So what's the rest of your travels looking like for this year, Curtis? Where are you going next? Oh, that's nice.
This will be probably one of the least traveled years in the last almost 16. So
What do you need? Oh, yeah.
So quiet year. Industry I work in tends to fluctuate at times. Sometimes there's everything going on, and sometimes there's not a whole lot. So my wife and I have just gone through a transition in terms of our kid has moved out. So I'd say we're empty nesters.
What if they show that?
But there's a question mark.
School or job?
School.
Where do you go to school?
So we went down to the Northwest Lineman College.
Okay.
Down in Oroville, California.
All right.
And so once that's all done, certainly the hope is that there's an opportunity for him to get a job and
Right on.
move on into the world. Right?
Yes, sir.
So we'll
Yes,
see
sir.
what happens in November.
Right on, because I know he was a pretty accomplished mountain biker, wasn't he?
Yep, he did some downhill mountain bike racing and for a couple seasons and got pretty hot. I still remember the day I took him to Duthie Hill, and I said, "See you later, dude.
Have fun, don't die."
I dropped him off, and I came back like 5-6 hours later, and he had a blast. And he self-taught himself everything, surprisingly, off of YouTube. And,
that's YouTube University is a thing,
it's amazing.
right?
And so he dug in, and he liked it. A series of mountain bikes later, and then he had a change of heart, which is not unusual for
Yep.
people to do that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Got lots of people come to the track and they're in it, they're ready to do it, and they do it for hot and heavy for 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden something happens
And they're like,
and
yeah,
things shift.
done.
So,
Yeah.
but
I haven't been able to. My affinity for things mechanical and with wheels has not waned, even when a number of times it probably should have. I'd be much more financially secure had that happened. But
Piece of candy.
the Hot Wheels affinity of this little boy never stopped. So they just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and always trying to be orange. Did you see? Did your dad show you a picture of my latest one? What I got?
No.
No.
She didn't see a picture of the Aston Martin yet?
That was Justin.
You throw that up there?
Can you show
He's
the
getting there.
code?
There we go. Do you approve?
Yeah,
It's factory.
Yeah. It's factory. It came with those colors from the factory. They painted it that way.
that's cool.
pretty hot.
Yeah. I'm chuffed. It'll be here next week.
Oh wow.
Ooh, car has orange on it. Buy now.
By now.
Ooh, K-Track orange.
Yeah, literally, it's my kryptonite. I'm like, I think it was you that sent me the K truck, wasn't it? Yeah. And I was like,
I was like, oh, we're gonna get
It's
this.
like-
Please
and then of course I'm telling my wife,
It's
right? So I
Instagram
sold
on
I
it.
sold the 458 because it just didn't do it for me. And so I got my cousin to buy it, and I didn't lose money on it, which was great. Even all the stuff I did to it, he was like, "Yeah, I love it. It's great. Take all of it." So he paid for all the mods, paid for the car. It's great. Cool. He's a big shot CEO of some startup tech company in Seattle. You're younger than me. But I have no ill will for my cousin because he's a year younger than me, and he's like, mega big shot. Doug's awesome. He's earned every single minute of it. He studied Russian in college.
Oh wow.
I'm like, who studies Russian unless you're gonna be a spy? Maybe he is. I don't know. He is 6'3". He could be. Doesn't exactly blend in most of the time, but
Right.
You and I would be better spies. We could kind of blend in generally, kind of hide in plain sight. Charlie would be a good spy. You could pass for Russian.
Hmm.
Yeah, see? Yeah, you got the blue eyes, you got the dark hair. You could totally pass for Russian. Not that there's anything wrong with Russia. I like Russia. I'm sorry. So, anyway, right? I'm sorry, Vladimir. I didn't mean it. Sorry, Donald Trump. I'll be nice. So the where was I going with that? This one shows up. I've been looking for this kind of car, and hadn't seen a spec that I wanted. Most Astons are silver or gray or some other boring UK sports car color that I just can't stand.
Yeah.
I saw this one pop up and I was like, yeah, honey, we're buying a car. What? What are you talking about? We're buying a car. Why are we buying a car? I thought you said you were done with cars. Well, until this car showed up. I must have it. There's one of these in the United States. Literally one of those. There's 100 stick shifts V12s in the US. There is one that is like that.
Wow.
I'm like, I guess I will have to get that. So Simon, that may happen, but this one might stick around for a minute. So it is V12. It is a manual. I have track cars, but this one will probably go to the track at least once. We'll need to get the ceramics off of it because those are going to be expensive. But FSB has entered the chat. Yeah. Well. What else? Favorite food? Go. Surprise me.
Specific. It's not. One of my many favorite foods, specifically mod pizza.
Specifically mod pizza. Which mod pizza?
Huh?
Which mod pizza? Like something crazy like Canadian bacon and pineapple?
Cucumbers.
Yeah,
You put cucumbers on a pizza.
Yeah,
Are they cold cucumbers or cooked cucumbers?
cooked.
they cook them.
That is certainly odd. I have not heard of that. Is this?
I'm glad you said that.
I'm like, I've
That's
never
odd.
heard of cooked cucumbers.
But hey, good job.
Like
Good job, like
cook-
cucumbers.
cooked. How about all y'all favorite food? Nashville hot chicken sandwich. I have not had it. Sushi. Okay, which sushi? Pho, of course.
Teriyaki chicken.
Teriyaki chicken.
I had a Nashville hot chicken sandwich in Nashville.
I haven't had a Nashville hot chicken sandwich. Period. That must be something I find in my travels. You had a Nashville hot chicken sandwich? I don't know. I don't even know what this voodoo is.
But I do like those. Those are very good.
Yeah, can you imagine getting one of those in like Seattle at the Pike Place Market, and it probably has nothing to do with like seafood.
Right. Right? Ahi sashimi. Yeah, dude. Ahi sashimi, fresh off the boat with the worm still alive in it. The best. The best. The best.
Larry, I'm with you on Torchy's. Torchy's is pretty dang good.
I've not been to Torchy's either.
Well, you got to get to.
I got to get to Austin?
Well, you got to get to Austin.
Yeah, I got to Austin. You are well traveled, my friend. You know where all the haunts are.
Well, there's another barbecue joint down there too, where I get a little barbecue drunk.
Oh, you get that meat sweat and the whole like.
I land.
That's
the
my
airport,
life now.
And if I'm meeting one of my colleagues on the road, I'm like, we're going. We're going to Terry Black's, or we're going to one of the other places that
So-
are in Austin.
Wyatt was asking what you would want for dinner, and I was like, when in Rome, homie, give him some smoked meat. I was like, I couldn't tell you what Charles' favorite food is. I knew at one point what it might be, but over the years I've seen gastrointestinal distress in a larger and larger amount, and the desire for food has kind of waned a bit. The desire for comfort outweighs the desire for any specific taste or food. So, and I feel for you because of that, because food is this is an honoring of my wife's maladies, but I'm carnivore now, and I'd say I'm occasionally carnivore because these boys know better. We have burritos and hamburgers and all kinds of crap here on occasion, typically predicated by me. I'm jonesing for a burrito from the taco truck because I've had nothing but meat for the last week. We're gonna go to the taco truck and it's on me. How about tacos?
From home
From home
or Taco Bell.
or Taco Bell? Bean burritos are a weakness of mine from long ago. Bean burritos, no onions.
Oh, damn.
Extra cheese, bro, and extra sauce. Extra sauce, extra cheese.
Bean burrito with no onions is her order.
Yes.
See, bean burrito.
Old school.
What's the side
Yeah.
of the cheese sauce?
Absolutely. With the nacho. Bless. It's like you get the Nacho Bel Grande and you need to get the extra cheese because it's all gone. This is before we knew that this was literally killing you when you ate it.
Why bring flowers home when you can bring a bean burrito home?
Bean burrito. My wife's the same. I think it's a generational thing. When we were growing up, you had no money. You wanted to go out. You got your 59-cent bean
It
burrito.
used to be 59 cents,
Right?
$3.59.
Yeah, it's kind of close, but you know. Yeah, Taco Bell 89 cents. It's showing some generational. Terry Black's just gave me meat sweat PTSD.
Nice. Sorry about that.
Nice. That's who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Nice.
Terry Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally people do pub crawls. I do barbecue crawls in Austin. It's terrible. It's so good though.
I feel like
Nothing wrong
our
with that.
best barbecues, like lower than bottom shelf Texas barbecue though. So
I don't know. Barbecue to you ain't half bad.
Well,
yeah, that's good.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Up in
And
Seattle,
they're kind of in La Familia. There's a racing community background to that
he
restaurant.
does a good
so-
job. I think it's Jack's. It's up in Soto.
Yep.
He was the guy who runs that restaurant. I believe a Microsoft guy, retired, took all of his money,
Yep.
actually went to school, moved to Texas.
Seriously.
He's
Study
got a
barbecue.
chain, like a few of them, right?
Hey, Paul joined us. What's up, Paul?
Howdy, Paul.
We got some video of you
Yeah,
in your car,
He's got one off Fourth, right?
and we've
Total
learned
on four.
that
Yes.
Yeah, he's got 3 or 4. There's one in Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did the whole what do they do and how can I learn how to do this? And he went to school to understand it, and then came back here. And if you go to their joint in Soto,
this one.
you can see the smokers back there. They've got hundreds of pounds smoking 24/7.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it's the same one I've got. Yeah.
For both of us. All right. So, Paul, you'll be happy to know that one of Charles' children' favorite car is your car. So,
He doesn't love the yellow, not
right? Who doesn't love a taxi? So, it's his youngest, Lydia. She's very shy. She's barely peeking around to see the
She's
screen.
just shy with people should.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's kind of normal. She'll grow out of that. Be a chatterbox here very soon. So at some point we'll get this whole family out to the track when they're big enough to actually fit into a seat legally and have a harness and go for a ride, which is probably at least for you. I'd say at least 6 more years.
Yeah.
5th grade.
How old are you?
You're 10, right?
Mhm.
Birthday is coming up,
Yeah.
right? You'll be 11 soon. December.
Mhm.
December something.
12.
12. There we go.
Every track does a little bit differently, but
Yeah.
we've had
12.
as young as like 14, 15-year-old for
As a right seat?
a hot lap. Yeah.
Okay.
Not a crazy hot lap.
Yeah, just
A mild.
yeah, not a full send. I mean, obviously the Ridge has something special with the cancer. I had a 5-year-old car,
Yeah.
so on a booster seat and a harness. I was like, this is completely not gonna work. But I'll just make sure to not ball the car up.
Yeah,
We're just
right.
gonna do something fun
Yeah,
and
myself.
go fast and in a straight line, and then get
Yeah,
the car around
yeah.
the racetrack a couple laps.
Yeah.
Anywho, all right. So she has a game.
Well, Lydia stole.
Oh, she
Yeah.
stole some of it? All right. So Charlie wanted to play a game on Whiskey Friday. This has been something that Charlie has been wanting to come to Whiskey Friday. Why she has an affinity for whiskey at this age, I have no idea. I don't know what these parents are doing over here.
It's
but, you
YouTube.
know,
It's
YouTube.
YouTube.
Ah,
That's all
it's
it is.
YouTube. So I will say, Charlie, you are very well spoken in front of people,
Yeah.
and keep doing that.
Okay.
Doing that. That's a very rare talent to be able to answer a question knowing that a whole bunch of people are watching you. You might not be able to see them, but they are watching you, and you don't freeze up. You just answer it naturally. That's really cool.
I've done it in school many times.
Really, you present and you have no problem presenting
What's
in front
your
of people.
What's your position at school now?
ASB officer, vice
Wow.
president.
Wow! And
Nice.
how often do you have to give speeches as vice president?
I don't know. School hasn't started yet.
Oh, we'll find out. We'll find out.
She applied for.
Yeah.
Wow! Did the whole thing?
Didn't even tell us.
No.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even know.
You just showed up. Hey, I'm the vice president. What's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
You can call me Veep.
Wow.
You can call me Veep.
Mhm.
All right. So what are we doing with this forklift? We have a real one down there.
Yeah.
Should we try with the real one?
Oh, she will.
I want to drive it.
Yeah.
T5 is jealous of Charlie. He would love to come on Whiskey Friday. Brood, bring it. Bring it. He's welcome. We can do the kids of Dundon. Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is T5? Tosh? Like, I want to say almost same, like 9, 10? Something like that. He showed him in a drift cart in his driveway
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
So, he's like, chip off the old block. You can get it done. All right, so demonstrate this game really quick. What's the skinny? What is Forklift Frenzy?
So you take a card
Okay.
and say this is the card you get. You
Yeah.
have to use your forklift to match the pattern and stack them up to match the card.
Oh, I can see this gets.
That's and it's whoever does it the fastest wins.
Yeah.
Oh, hence the frenzy.
How do you get the fork to go higher though?
Yeah.
Good question. How do you do that, huh?
Mhm.
Oh, see
Okay,
there,
okay,
you
okay,
have
okay.
to
Got it.
So now
use
try
your
to.
big.
Now you gotta balance it.
Yeah, and then the forklift falls over. And
It's actually pretty hard.
Yeah.
OSHA gets called, and then people get their.
There's cards with like 6 of them high.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah, I could see this being quite a fun family game night.
Yeah. Oh,
My-
can't go. So you gotta stack. Yeah, you gotta stack them all and then put it on there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And they
it
always
keeps
fall
going
in.
from the bottom, and then.
Oh, I see.
All right. This is
So that's what your card's telling you?
slightly more skilled
Yeah.
than Hungry
Gray,
Hungry
green,
Hippo
red.
when I was a kid,
Oh, interesting.
which was
So the-
literally as fast as you can hit the handle until
Yeah.
it breaks.
So it's doing this without spilling stuff everywhere.
Got it.
Mhm.
You got to do it faster than what the
The
other
person.
people are doing it.
Mhm.
And is there enough so that 4 or 5 people can play? Or is it
No,
only 2?
I looked online a little.
It's a 2-people game.
It's like an elimination thing. Like
Gotcha. Okay, it's a bracket. It's
So
a bracket.
you could buy 2
Gotcha.
and you could do 4.
Yeah, there's.
You could get multiple games and have
Yeah.
multiple tables going. Yeah, and then the winners of the winners.
There's people who do it kind of like. What's one of the other games? Yeah, they'll put a pot in. Everybody puts $20 in. Whoever gets to the end of it gets the whole pot.
This looks like a Dundon Christmas party game.
Yeah.
We need to have Forklift Frenzy brackets. Except those need to be shot glasses.
Yeah, they won't fall off.
They won't, yeah, that would be a mess. Because you know Salty would get super sloppy and do that.
And they do tip over like this on their side sometimes.
Oh, and you gotta like figure out a way to flip it.
Yeah.
You gotta do the quarter flip with the forklift. You ever done that? Pick up a quarter with forklift off the concrete?
No. I think you have to be certified forklift operator to do that.
I was when
That's
I
like
was
Jamie.
17.
That's like
Yeah, I was when I was 17. I worked at Ernst. I put myself through college working at Ernst Hardware.
Oh, dang.
You've been a
Yeah,
Northwest
I remember
native, you know
Ernst.
Ernst.
Yeah.
So Ernst has been bankrupt for a long time.
Super long time.
But those memories of doing donuts in the forklift and taking the propane tank and freezing all of the wasps with like the just full blast open in all the wood as they would come through, all of these shenanigans, jumping off the 30-foot tall shelf into all of the bundled fiberglass roofing, still in plastic, so we didn't get covered, but we thought until it goes poof and then you leave.
Yeah, then you're
yeah,
covered.
she used to do that at Home Depot with the orange roll bubble wrap. Man,
Ah,
she would
yeah.
Bring them all up,
Yeah,
bowling style, go right into them, go flying everywhere.
yep. Good
And
stuff.
The manager
Good
is, like,
stuff.
standing at the end of the aisle, trying not to laugh.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Anybody got any questions for us? We got Jamie spun the RS. We've got Curtis saw it before it started happening and said, "Hey, you're an idiot. You don't do that." Said that's how you learn, and that is how I learned. And it was actually kind of cool. Ted saw the laps that I was running. He's like, "Dude, you already forgot all the things we went over. What's going on?" So, just you've got to. Your 6 through 8 is horrible. You need to fix that. So, I fixed it. I got it back. We did figure out one of the things that was different the last time I was out. I went 142 at the Ridge in the RS, only a couple seconds behind Ted's time. But I was on, we'll call it the glorious hour that the Super Sport Rs have when they're brand new on track.
Nice.
They literally feel like glue.
Yeah.
The car just there is no shudder, there is no nothing. They're just stuck.
Nice.
And I was like, this is great. And then Ted went out and I took all his glory away. He probably went, had I not done that, we probably just set a track record at the Ridge in a non-modified George, I love you and your R8, but that is not a factory R8 at all.
Yeah.
Not even remotely close. The interior's gone. It's 700 horsepower.
What was that 139?
Yeah, he went 139
Yeah.
and change last week.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah. Anywho.
One, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
What's your, out of all the cars you've been picked up in at school, what's your favorite?
Yeah.
The long
I think she already said.
K-Truck.
K-Truck.
K-Truck
right.
or the Ferrari?
Yeah.
458. What'd you like about the Ferrari? Because I didn't like it. That it was blue?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. That's fair. That's why I liked it. Because most Ferraris are not blue.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Um,
Pretty unusual.
so I like that it was not your usual Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
It did sound okay, but I think we make better sounding cars, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we make better sounding cars. She's not, influenced at all
No,
by
not
her stature or last name, I'm sure. Not at all. So, all right, y'all. I don't have any more. If no one has any quick questions for us. Oh, we do have a sale going on. Perchance. Anybody wants some goodies? We have 15% off our suspension packages. We have 10% off almost everything else. And fun fact, if you're a golfer, we just had Cameron Smith buy a system for his 992 GT3 RS,
Damn.
which is kind of cool. I always like it when celebs buy stuff from
That's
us.
pretty
It's
rad.
kind of dope. Kind of dope. We haven't had Jerry Seinfeld buy anything from us, but he has followed us for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's kind of cool.
that's cool.
I'm hoping one day he wants to
Yeah,
modify one of his
I think
cars.
the
but-
follows like 200 people.
Isn't it
Damn.
Isn't it Dave Grohl that also no, it's not Dave Grohl. It's Maroon 5 guy. It's into Porsches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam Levine. I thought Dave Grohl might be as well. I'm not sure, but boring. Nice. Thanks, Orist. Don't buy anything. I know sales are boring. Boring. Also, for those that don't know, Orist has an engineering company, and Orist has been helping us because he has how I am semiconductor process engineer before I came to Dundon and can help companies figure out their semiconductor process and engineering issues. He is that for carbon fiber. And so we know enough about carbon fiber, but sometimes we don't know enough.
Jamie knows enough about carbon fiber. The rest of us.
But I don't design any of the parts. These guys design the parts. So
Right.
Oris is going to act as sensei and
Nice.
help us communicate with the very difficult world out there in carbon fiber land as we continue to develop more and more and more carbon parts. So before we get so far down the rabbit hole that we're like, oh crap, we have 16 suppliers and they all suck. So need one or two suppliers that are really awesome would be great. But
Yeah, totally.
any of you who are on the list, you know who you are. So stop sucking. Yay. And with that, I'm gonna get ready for my bike ride and go get a steak. Justin, roll some picks. You've got some great ones. Oh yeah, I got pointed by, I think. Oh yeah. Does that create a black hole? Picture of a picture taker taking a picture of the same car?
The car looks huge.
I know, it's just it's a big car.
It is a big car.
It's a big car.
It was, I
So
was at the top of the bleacher and I got to do the 1 to 8, 100 to 800. So I punched in. I was like, oh, it's tiny for a car, big. I was like,
car big, good.
so it was at 6.
That's the carousel.
Yep, that's coming out of the carousel. Coming into the carousel. My head's turned the right direction. That's good. That's good. Seth, that's the very first thing that Seth told me when he saw some video of the car. He's like, I'm not going to tell you anything else. You got to look at where the hell you want the car to end up.
Yeah.
That's it. Just do that. And I started doing that, and I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to tell when the car's getting out of step when I look at where I want it to go.
Jamie's a snowboarder trying to avoid trees hitting trees.
Yeah, literally. It's like, don't look at the trees.
Yeah.
Crabs on fire, Simon. Crabs on fire. Carbon fiber. You can see the heat plume behind the car
Yeah.
and even down the window.
Yeah, Justin was saying we need
Thermal imaging.
Yeah.
I've got one. I just don't think it'll work on that camera. It'll work on this camera, which this camera doesn't do that. So
just need to go on a day that's all solid fog and then drive and get the swirlies going.
yeah, for sure.
Can't see where you're going.
That'll come soon enough. I'm enjoying the lack of fog currently and the lack of smoke. I think this is the first summer we've had in a long time that we're not like buried in smoke right now.
Yeah.
So
Your kid was coming earlier. I keep forgetting he doesn't have the RS.
yeah, he's got a lava GT3. Yeah. Although he has his RS coming, he has an ST coming, he has a Spider RS,
Jeez.
and he's becoming a one of each. He kind of already was a one of each, but he's definitely a one of each now. Definitely one of each. We got to get on a bike ride at some point.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
We've still got some time left before
before it's like snowshoes and
Yeah.
rain
before
gear.
before the sun starts setting at
5 o'clock. Yeah, don't remind me. That's good angle. Makes it look like the coming down the mountain. I don't think it's that steep in real life, is it?
The car is.
it's steep.
Yeah, it's steep, I suppose. I mean, you're going down, but it happens that fast, so you don't really pay much attention. So we should just have a mister. We can just get a mister and have the windows roll down, and we'll just like mist out the corners of the windows so we get entrails off the wing.
Wait, go
But
go
just make
go,
sure
one,
it's
go one
colored.
photo backwards.
Make it the color of the car.
You get one back, Justin.
Go yeah, one backwards. Yeah, right there. Right on the exit side of that. That's nice. Very nice.
You've got there's 2 shots after this, but he gets even closer to the edge on exit. And I think that's 13.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should be extra. That should be extra 12.
Yeah, I think that's 12. That's 12. I use all of that curb. You got to murder that curb. You can't.
13.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, 13's down. Yeah. Yeah, you can't get through 12 with no. 12 is thumb. 13 is the hard. No, that's right. That's right. Yeah. 11 is
Thumb's
thumb.
11.
12, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking to
It's
guys
okay,
that
it's
instruct
okay,
there.
it's all right.
Like, I just drive there. I don't remember the turn names. Oh, another turn. Turn again. Oh, another
Left
turn. Turn
or
again.
right turn.
Right?
It's a left turn and a right turn. Yeah.
So,
Into a short straight.
right?
That way.
All right, y'all. We're gonna tag out. I've got to get some hamburgers on order. Get home to the missus and have some more carnivore. Delicious, delicious, very delicious. All right,
Go to Scotland.
enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Buy some stuff. We have a sale. Everybody complains we don't have sales. Buy some stuff. You make it so that we have more sales. Literally. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey.